Gentlemen, today is the day. Formula 1 2019 has been released on all consoles. Okay, if you've bought the Legends Edition, that includes the Senna and Prost, features. Now today I'm going to do a bit of a special episode. It's going to be a rather long and unique episode. Probably we could even be hitting almost the 3-hour mark, maybe, who knows. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a special one today, because of what I've seen, okay, and heard, that the F2 career mode is pretty short, only 3 scenarios, okay. So before we get into that, we're going to do basically kick off our F2 career mode, then do the F1 career mode, the first race at least, anyway, today. And yeah, but I just want to show you around, really, this new game. Obviously here's the theatre mode, so this is where you can watch all the past race highlights. I'm pretty sure there'll be many of those, hopefully, along the way. Here's the showroom, so you can browse through all the cars, the different cars. There's the Mercedes, the Ferrari, the Red Bull, the Renault, the Rich Energy, By the way, that logo on the car, by the way, is technically a copyright logo, so hopefully there'll be no copyright warnings throughout this video. I do not intend to get that, obviously, because obviously, as you know, there was a dispute about it, so I'm not going to show that too long. Anyway, and yeah, basically you got all these different cars now, and including the new Formula 2 cars, which look pretty decent, and I'm pretty sure that there will be Formula 2 2019 cars coming out later on, whenever they come out. At the moment they haven't been released. Maybe in the official day 1 pack, when the actual full game comes out on Friday, maybe that's when, the 28th, when others will get the normal edition of the game. Maybe that's when we'll see the day 1 patch, I would have thought. And yeah, obviously, but we're not here for multiplayer, which looking pretty sweet, I have to say. Haven't had any races yet in multiplayer. We're here to start a new career mode, of course, and here we go.
In F1 2019, you'll be invited to start your career by selecting a Formula 2 team. Driving for this team, you'll experience some key moments of a Formula 2 season, a thrill-packed racing championship in its own right, and the springboard to Formula 1. At the end of this feeder series, your choice of driver academy and your performance in F2 will determine the terms of the contracts offered by the teams as you embark upon your career in Formula 1 and begin to write your own chapter of motorsport history.
So pretty sweet then looking, as we now can choose our Formula 1 team, that we want to go racing with. And we can skip the feeder series. I'm not going to skip it because I want to do it. Who doesn't? And we're going to go for, I think it's Charutsu Racing. Okay, we're going to go for the Red Bull Drivers Academy. Okay, why not? We're going to go for the full qualifying, full race distance, and the formation lap. Okay, we're going to turn down the AI difficulty just a tad, because I've done a few races. I've been trying it on 97. I'm going to go down to 92, see what that's like. If we think that's too easy, we'll bump it up a little bit, and see where we can find that perfect balance, just like we had in F1 2018, because I don't know, there's something about it, so far that I've been struggling with, it's not quite the same as F1 2019. The car, I've tried now both cars. The F2 cars feel a bit sluggish under braking, even though they are pretty quick in a straight line, I think. And they lack that oomph also at the corner, I find. on the F1 cars, I've been finding very difficult under braking, but very quick out the corners at the moment. So I don't know whether it's just me, but yeah. By the way, we're using our official name. Okay, we're not using any other name. So yeah. So let's see the scenario. So it looks like we got a problem here.
Some kind of mechanical failure.
So it's
picking up speed again.
Right, so picking up speed.
Can they still finish this race?
So let's see what we can do in this race then, I guess.
Looks like an issue with the turbo. You've lost some speed at the top end, but you're very close to the finish. You can still compete and get some points here. Don't give up. Just do the best you can. We're all behind you.
So I'm gonna presume we got our teammate behind us. I'm not too sure. Yes, we do. We got Viva. Oh dear, oh dear. You see what I mean? Struggling under the braking, and that's our teammate through.
That's great. Lucas can push on now.
Weren't even asked.
Lucas wants me to pass on his thanks. I know it's frustrating, but you made the right call for the team. Now we're all with you. Just bring it home as best you can.
So, not too sure what we've got wrong. Vehicle report.
Didn't catch that. Say again.
Vehicle condition.
Our data shows the tyres are okay right now. We anticipate good levels of grip for the next few laps at least.
I'll tell you what. I'm not a big fan of these F2 cars at the moment. Finding them very difficult under braking, very difficult in the traction zones at the moment. The F1 cars do tend to have more traction, I think. But the braking on these cars, that's full braking and literally nothing. Like, honestly, I think it could be something to do with maybe the gears. I'm not too sure at the moment what is wrong with the braking. Not used to it. Feels very sluggish and slow to slow the car down. So if we can finish P6, it'll be okay.
Try to stay with him, he might make a mistake. We could still regain the position.
Obviously, we'll have DRS down the main straight. That was a nice exit. Got slipstream.
Gaining on you by 0.5 a lap.
So keep in 6th right now. Obviously, we're only going to get better as the game goes on, as we progress, hopefully. Oh, balls. But right now, in this early stage of the game, I'm certainly not as comfortable as I was in F1 2018. I feel like there's, I don't know whether it's a downforce thing. Sort of cheating at the moment in this scenario mode. As I said, I don't know whether it's handling thing or what? Like, obviously I am playing on the pad on the controller, so I'm not using a wheel. Could that be the issue? I don't know. Is it harder for the controller this year? I'm not too sure. Like, in terms of how the car handles, in terms of direction, the car does more or less go where I want it to go, which is good, but it's just the under-braking part and the traction out of the corner.
Final lap of the race.
Also, I'm wondering whether it's a tyre thing as well, because I know they change the tyres. To that thinner tread, of course. F2 got the thinner tread a few, well, a year about before, 2 years before. So possibility it's the tread of the tyre. Right now, there's a train starting to form behind me. Right, we crossed the line P6.
Well done, good finish. You
So
stepped up and achieved what we asked.
it was okay. We did use many flashbacks, but you know, so I'm not too proud of myself there. Like, I would like to use less flashbacks.
An amazing race
overall,
today, and a very well-deserved
yeah.
one too. The team worked very hard to get exactly the
Obviously,
right set.
we
After this round of
didn't
the World
really
Championship,
put up a
here's
fight
how-
against our teammate, obviously. Didn't intentionally let him through, just ran wide, and that was him gone, more or less past. So we'll skip now to the next cutscene. Presume this is meeting the press.
There you are. That was an exciting race. It definitely got people talking about you.
So
which
here's
means I
the
was able to
Formula
secure a
2
quick
paddock,
interview.
of course,
Okay, we're all set over here. Just a minute.
just after the Spanish GP.
Remember,
So,
anything you say to the press can
yeah.
go very, very
and
public.
there's our agent,
So,
by the way,
be
Emma
relaxed,
Jenkins,
but also be conscious of what you're
who's
saying. about my
obviously, I
conquest
think,
of the
appeared in
people,
the last
okay?
3 career
I think we're
modes
ready.
now,
Great.
or 4 certainly.
So Emma keeps telling me you're the one to watch this season. If that's true, you'll be doing plenty of these. Just remember, be yourself. And the more you can give me, the better this will go. Right, stand here. Turn a little this way for me. Perfect. Ready? An exciting race today. Let's get your perspective. So you and Lucas are new to the team. How are you settling in?
So, obviously asking about how we're settling in, you know, I'm just going to say I'm settling in well, more or less.
Okay, so how did you feel about being ordered to give up the position to Lucas?
I'm just going to say it was the right decision. I think that's the best way to play it,
Great.
in the
Well, that's
end,
everything.
because, well, we barely even had a fight with Lucas Weber there. By the way, Weber is a German. Technically, a lot of people have been saying Weber. I've been hearing on YouTube from that Team U Duck or whatever his name is. You know.
Hey, look, I know that wasn't easy letting me pass, but it was the right choice. It was good
So there's
driving.
our teammate.
Yeah, that's how I describe it, mate.
course.
It's just good, not great. 1 in 6. 1 in 6 makes the leap to F1. The other 5 are still watching their less talented teammates collect all their points. Shame, really. A lot of great drivers never get their chance because they do it all for the team.
Those teams got us here.
Yeah, but it's the drivers that take the risk. We should get the rewards. If you ever want to race in F1, that's how winners think.
And remind me, how many F1 races have you won?
You watch this space. At the end of this championship, I'll be the one lifting the trophy, and I won't use my teammates to nick the podium.
Okay, I'm out. You believe what you want, Devon, but it's still early days.
He's either very clever or you're just a pushover. You really think if the situation was reversed, he'd do the same for you? You want to start looking out for yourself. No one else will.
So, obviously, Devon there, telling me, obviously, need to look out for myself, apparently. Obviously. And, yeah, you know, obviously, yeah, didn't really let him through, so that cutscene didn't really make entirely a lot of sense. I sort of ran wide, but I guess then they're going to class as letting him through. Didn't really put much of a fight. Let's see if we can do better then in this second cutscene, and let's see what happens.
Look at them go! Devon Butler locked in wheel-to-wheel racing with his championship rival, desperate to shut them down and stop them getting past. And there's contact. Butler simply left them nowhere to go. There was just no way for them to have avoided that. And look, there's significant damage. Not sure if that was down to recklessness or sheer aggression, but I'm sure the stewards are going to have something to say very shortly.
So, here we go then. Let's see what we can do in this second scenario mode. Around one of my favourite tracks on F1 2018, so yeah, must say the graphics do look pretty good in this game. Has to be said.
Okay, the stewards have awarded Devon a penalty. Push on. You can
So,
still catch him.
we're on fresh rubber right now, and I think those around us are on softs. Devon's been awarded a penalty of some sort. Not sure how much of a difference that will make.
Devon is coming in for a stop.
So it sounds like Devon Butler coming in for his stop. I've just worked something out. Our tyres seem very cold out the blanket. Maybe that's why we've been struggling with the braking zone a lot. Quite possibly.
Devon sat in P8.
But certainly a little bit fast. Did the fastest middle sector. So showing some decent pace right now. Lucas Weber, though, having said that, has done the quickest lap of the race. Who's behind us, strictly speaking, and fastest first sector. Oh dear. Didn't, you know, don't think he went down enough gears. So, gotta be careful coming out of the corners by the looks of it, certainly. Maybe on cold tyres, I think. Nonetheless, we'll still crack on. Right now, fastest middle sector.
Devon sat in P8.
So, give him a slipstream, tuck in, done a 117.5. Can we go around the outside? No, just gonna wait, go for a cutback maneuver sort of thing. Try and get run up the hill. Right, this should be move for the points. Getting pushed quite hard as we are now in the points still. Ah, balls. I've done that twice now. It's decent racing though, which is fun. And still can't get past Gunther.
Devon sat in P8.
Obviously, fastest, I do know, you know, the one inside the top 10 with fastest lap does get a point. Right. Now we've got to get inside. Well, if we can close up to Russell, that'd be pretty decent. It would help. Because whatever time penalty Devon's got, we can still capitalise on it and get a, well, finish ahead of Devon here in the points. Right now, I think Devon probably has a 5-second time penalty or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Say that again, we're having trouble receiving.
But doing better here though in this second scenario. Feel a bit more comfortable with the car. Do have fastest lap currently still with a 117.5.
Devon is 3 places ahead of you right now.
And we're closing in on George. They are a different challenge, these Formula 2 cars. So gap's down to now 4.5.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. Devon's P7 at the moment.
Suddenly see the cars now in front a whole lot clearer now. I must say, graphics looking spectacular. Oh dear, that was a mistake. I think once you get comfortable with this game, it probably is very much like the last sort of series of its kind, if you understand. Right now though,
Devon's P7 at the moment.
trying to get just something. Do we have any fuel mixture?
This is your final lap of the race. There's static over the radio, say again.
Alright, gonna really push this lap. All or nothing, I think. Balls. I think that's the only corner of one I'm aware we've actually spun at on this track so far. On the exit anyway. So, yeah. made the mistake down in that corner a few times. Right, Lando Norris is the race winner for this race.
Devon is 3 places ahead of you right now.
Alright, I'm not
Good finish.
sure we
You
finished
stepped up and
10th.
achieved what we asked. Good job.
So I'm not sure whether Devon had a penalty or whether he had a like a 5-second pit stop and go penalty. I'm not sure what his penalty was. It's not entirely clear.
Today's winners, having raised some
But,
of the biggest names in F1 to date, Carlin have won. So
nonetheless,
it's time to see how this result affects the drivers' challenge. It's a good result
10th
for Devon
place,
Butler, who moves further ahead
and
at the top of the table. And
so obviously, 10th place, fastest lap. I felt more comfortable with the car in that race. Not gonna lie, felt like a more comfortable car overall, but yeah, can't be too disappointed.
It seems to me
overall.
that collision with Devon clearly cost you a lot of time. Are you disappointed with the final result? So did you ever think you'd get the place back from Devon? I've seen that you and Lucas have been picking up a lot of points recently. What do you think of your championship chances?
So, just obviously,
Great. Well, that's everything.
you know, looking for the answers there. So right, we're gonna do the one final event, see what it is now. I believe only 3 events in this F2 career mode. It's quite short-lived as the career modes go. I was hoping for actually a full season of F2, then you progress into F1 personally. It does feel pretty bland,
Celebrate my excellent drive.
but nonetheless,
it was reckless. You should have been black flagged.
And I wasn't because it was my line.
you know.
You were in my space. You shouldn't have been. Next time, stay out of my way.
No, someone could have been hurt.
And that didn't happen, so what's your problem?
My problem is that your actions out there are too dangerous.
Listen, contact happens, okay? I took my penalty, but I kept it focused, kept it smooth, and came out on top. That's racing.
I like both of these guys, quite honestly. A lot of people have been trying to, you know, make Butler the bad guy and Webber,
You don't get it. It's not me
well,
you should be apologizing for.
Zeba the good guy.
Look, you grab your space on the track, and then it's all or nothing. That's just how it goes. And anyway,
You know, the way I
you still
see it.
couldn't beat me even with my penalty. So no hard feelings, okay?
Yeah, the way I see it, obviously,
Chin up.
you know, they're a bit. I like them both as, you know, drivers. They seem pretty. You know, he seems a bit more of the. Zeba seems a bit more of the. How can you put it? The guy who, what do you want to call it? Who will sort of be good advice, whereas Butler seems a bit more of a guy who will give you a bit more of a race, which I like, you know. So you got 2 decent characters there, strong characters already, which is pretty cool. But as I say, it's just a shame how short-lived this career mode is. This is like, well, the F2 career mode anyway. You know, hopefully they'll be doing more in the F1 career mode.
Okay, this is it.
Maybe.
Last race of the
So-
season. All you have to do is finish.
Right. Butler's 4th. We are in 8th, so all we have to do is finish ahead of Butler. Not going to be easy. And it's been an okay start. Not a great start. And we've been pushed by Norris. And we go up the hill. And we've managed to hold on to PA despite the early collision between myself and Norris. Gonna go up the inside, take the risk. It's gonna be a bit of a drag race between myself and Lando. Lando seems to have a bit of a slipstream, so it's gonna probably come down to the brakes. So there we go. That's us up into 7th. Obviously still see Butler. Now, will my teammate repay us the favour, obviously, of letting us through? Only 2 guys can win the championship right now. Is there anything on us to get my teammate out of the way?
Repeat that, there's interference.
No.
Devon's in P4 at the moment.
Andy, guys, if you got my team out of the way, that'd be pretty cool. If they could tell him, or tell him to do some overtaking. Right now, though, I guess we are a bit far back anyway. Pace is okay at the moment.
Devon is 3 places ahead of you right now.
Feel good in the low speed. Just about watching the exits. I think we got on right difficulty setting at the moment. Don't think it's too high or too low. Because obviously we will improve.
Devon's in P4 at the moment.
So only got 4 laps now, or 5 technically, to make a manoeuvre into P4 ahead of Devon Butler. But right now, not looking likely. Need to close up to our teammate.
They seem to have an issue.
So Alexander Albon.
Devon's in P4 at the moment.
Has some sort of issue. Hopefully that may just delay a little bit. Allowing us to close right up to the back. Well, these guys will get DRS. Alright. So
Devon is in P3.
Gonna go for it. Gotta send one. And we're now only 2 places behind Devon Butler, who's obviously the guy winning the championship currently.
Devon is a couple of places up on you.
Also, may get fastest lap here. No, not quite.
Devon is in P3.
So it still needs something to happen, like to bunch up right now, just not happening. At least we're ahead of our teammate, which I guess is good in that perspective.
Devon is in P3.
So we go fastest.
Speeding up again, so I expect they've fixed whatever the problem was. Devon is a couple of places up on you.
Right, if we can make a move on Russell, and we are pretty close this lap, we've got then one lap to make a manoeuvre on Butler. Oh no, balls. We were doing so well actually in this race up till that one moment, I would say. And now we are gonna have this issue of spinning. Oh, for crying out loud.
Devon is in P3.
Alright. Got 2 laps, or 1.5 technically.
Devon is in P3.
That wasn't done on purpose. As I say, braking's a bit iffy I find it right now. But yeah. By the way, subscribe, like and share if you don't mind. That'd be more than appreciated.
Giotto's in first place. Devon is a couple of places up on you.
At least we got fastest lap. I'd like to get past George though.
Is in P3.
I may just send one. Oh no. I was considering of sending one. Now we're defending from our teammate.
Is a couple of places up on you.
Only if that worked. We'll just cross the line sensibly. So Devon will win the championship. We'll take fastest lap and 5th place. But I felt a lot more comfortable in that race in terms of the way the car handled.
It's been my privilege over the years to witness
yeah.
a number of great sporting events, and here's another to add to that.
So Devon Butler is the F2 champion.
A great win then.
Like, gonna cut these scenes. See the celebrations in the garage if there's any. So there's Devon Butler celebrating with his team, Mercedes AMG ART. Obviously, I have no idea what team he's gonna go for or be in next season. You know, I know what team I intend to go to.
That result also seals the Formula 2 World Championship title. Congratulations to...
So, obviously, the way now, by the way the races are going to work, okay, I'm going to do one practice session, okay?
Great workout there today.
For the first few, well, for every race, okay?
So that was a thrilling end to the season.
A full qualifying,
How was the race for you?
And we're going to do a 25% race. So, yeah, you know, it's going to be a bit of a odd one, I guess.
Well,
to do, but it'd be nice, I think.
In your grasp. How are you?
But yeah, you know,
well, we've been
not
hearing
to
of a possible future for you in Formula 1. Care to comment?
Yeah, all I say,
great.
It'd be nice though to get into the actual F1 world and see what lies for us ahead. And we can now, in a way, confirm what Formula 1 team we have chosen to do for our career mode in a moment's time when we get to do or select, hopefully, or be given a contract. We'll soon see.
Devon. Much as it hurts,
so there's Devon celebrating his F2 World Championship now, which is pretty spectacular to see. The F2 Trophy World Championship, of course. Whether or not that's exactly what it looks like, I have no idea.
I'll see you later then.
Nonetheless.
So, I'm sure you've probably already heard, but if you haven't, I'm going to be racing in the F1 Championship next year. Now, I don't know what your plans are, but let me give you some friendly advice. Don't try following me. For sure. You might get an offer from one of the smaller teams, probably someone desperate. and then you'll be stuck in P18 all season with car trouble. And you won't ever really be able to challenge me. But you stick it out here for another year, now that I'm gone, you've got a fighting chance of winning next year. And if you can manage that, I'm sure one of the larger teams would love to have you.
So, obviously, seems a bit frightened, I guess, of us.
Look out for yourself, yeah?
You know, telling us to not follow him in terms of what he does as his career, which is I find pretty interesting, of course, as you can understand.
I'd be shocked if you don't have an F1 contract offer already. And if my deal pans out, man, his head is going to explode.
So, yeah, you know, obviously, about to find out though what team. So, months later, London's agent office. So we're in London apparently, and it's the agent's office in London, which is pretty cool. Nice new, I presume, cutscene coming up. Let's have a look to see what goes on here now. So choosing Formula 1 team, most important decision in your F1 career, so consider your options carefully, pay particular attention to each team. Cool. Highly ranked teams like Ferrari and more competitive cars, but we expect drivers to be achieving podiums, finishes right from the start of the season. They'll become quickly unhappy if you fail to perform. Okay, cool. Obviously, as you'd understand, higher rank, a bit like a football team, I guess, higher rank football team you go to, the more you're expected to do better.
Come on in.
Obviously, we're about
Take a seat.
to choose what F1 team
conversation about your next move.
we're going to
Your
choose.
performance at the F2 Championships last year got you a lot of attention from the Formula 1 team.
Obviously, we're going to see which teams have us or allow us to go to, which I'm pretty curious to see who we can get.
But
once again, guys, subscribe, like, and share.
They're narrowing as we haven't shown commitment to anyone. Now, as your agent, my advice is to make your decision now. We can worry about comfort and finer points further down the line.
Cool.
I need you to review these. You've earned every single one of these proposals. So take your time, have a read through, and don't get too hung up on specifics. Let's get you a Formula 1 seat.
Right, okay, so by the looks of it, we can choose any actual team by the looks of it, so if we wanted to, we could go to any other teams. So obviously it looks like the lower ranked team, or the, it looks like the, sorry, the all the what you call it, all that Racing Academy did was basically give us more maybe reputation with the Red Bull teams like Scuderia Toro Rosso and Red Bull Racing, of course. But obviously I've already ruled out we're not going to be doing any of these three, so it's going to be either, and we're not going to be doing Williams, so it can only be, okay, one of 5 teams, and I think you already know who it's going to be. Toro Rosso we're going to do. So obviously we can't deny the contract, all we can do is change teams, okay, which is pretty good. However, that contract isn't bad by the looks of it. It does exceed what is expected of our, you know, the value of a contract is better, okay, than my actual value, so I'm going to accept that contract, okay, from the team.
Excellent choice.
Okay.
From my conversations with them, they're going to be very excited to pursue this
obviously
opportunity with you.
we're going to be either probably replacing either Albion or Ricciardo at Toro Rosso, which obviously looking forward to do. Hopefully I replace Kvyat. I don't want to replace Albon, because Albon, you know, I've got a sneaky feeling it's going to be Albon, because Kvyat's the older driver. But yeah, right. For first time also, we can choose, okay, our tyres for this Grand Prix weekend. We're going to take a few more softer sets, only because I don't expect to get into Q3. So, you know, getting out of Q1 is going to probably be very close. Getting into Q2 will probably be the furthest we can progress. Okay, and it'll be just then about grid position from after Q1, so getting into Q3 would be a real bonus. And if we did get into Q3, you know, obviously, yeah.
I'll catch up with you.
Now, don't get me wrong, we are gonna,
Sorry, I'm just on my
you
way
know,
out.
be
The workstation's at the back
very
over
close
there.
to Q3.
It
I
should
don't
be all
think
set
it's
up on the
impossible.
network,
I
but let the
think
guys know if it isn't.
we'll probably have
From
to
there,
the app.
you can access all the data you need to help us direct the
So-
boat with the car. Get yourself settled, and then head out to practice when you're ready. I'll catch up
We
with you
will
later.
see what we can do.
Welcome to your new team. Toro Rosso are famed for nurturing promising talent.
Oh, it's Albon.
And kickstarting
Nice.
the careers of exciting drivers.
Good.
From
That
veterans to
is
Sainz
great.
to Ricardo. But they're much more than that. This is a strong team that expects regular points finishes.
Alright, good. So, just want to have a look at the R&D, where we're lacking, sort of thing. So, certainly engine. So we need to do work on the engine. Chassis we ain't too bad. Mid-pack. Could probably still need to do more work. And our aerodynamics ain't too bad. Like be obviously a bit further up the grid than that. So, according to this, we're the third worst team on the grid. Okay, which isn't bad. Well, actually, I'd say joint third, or joint second worst team on the grid, because you know, it looks like us and Alfa Romeo Racing are level pegging. Then it looks like McLaren. Then Sports Preza Score Racing Point, or whatever they're called, you know. They've got the world's worst Formula 1 name, I think. Sport Preza Racing Point, you know. Then obviously Rich Energy, you know, you got them. Haas F1, obviously. Then you got Renault, Aston, Red Bull, then Mercedes, and Ferrari looking like the best, just over the Mercedes team. So yeah. So obviously things are looking cool in terms of what we've got. I think we got less actually in terms of maybe the
Winning rivalries is a great way to earn respect from your team
still
and
see
around the
what
paddock,
we've got,
which
but
will
you
help
can't
make it
see,
easier to negotiate
you know.
favourable contracts. Your first rival is always your teammate.
Do we
You
have
can
the
choose who to
actual
declare as your second.
thing? No, by the
The
looks of
harder
it,
the
no.
rival from the eligible
Right, nonetheless.
selection,
So we're
the
getting
more
to
respect
free
you
practice 1, the first ever practice we'll do in a Toro Rosso, and, you know, as a Formula 1 driver, practically, on this game. Anyway, so I'm going to certainly spend this practice wisely. I'm not going to rush it exactly. I'm going to try and get through all the practice programs neatly and calmly. Because, yeah.
This first race of the season is always quite difficult for us trackside, and for those back at the factory as well, as it's the first time the car has run since winter testing. The more consistent mileage you can get in these sessions, the happier we'll be.
During your F1 career,
I don't need a tutorial, I know what to do. Right, so we're gonna go straight out, do the track acclimatization, get a few laps under our belt, get a bit of use.
Try and feel your way around.
So cars certainly sound a bit more lively on the fire up, sounds a bit different this year. That did. So yeah, graphics though look amazing. So this is just an outlap at the moment. The car feels good. Feels, you know, quite nice. Very good on the braking at the moment. Tyres feel good. They feel a bit more different this year. feel like they grip differently. Certainly also feels like there's a lot less front end grip, maybe a bit more rear. Alright, let's see what we can do on the first flying lap of Albert Park.
Corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Remember to activate your DRS in the DRS zone as well. Approaching the DRS zone, watch your MFD for the activation point.
By the way, just want to make a quick announcement. Any comments that you're leaving down below, thank you for leaving them. However, unfortunately, I can't actually read them at the moment for whatever reason. Basically, something wrong with my sort of what do you call it, chat thing on the YouTube app. So, you know, thank you though for leaving them, more than appreciated. Oh dear, that was a bit of a slide. Go on the curb there. So first lap down.
Good work, you seem to have a solid
Weren't a bad lap.
Let's try and perfect each turn. Remember that chaining good corners together will give you a consistency bonus.
So Bottas already top end time sheets in his Mercedes. So a lot better exit this time.
That's
For
fantastic.
those
You
seconds
obviously have a
down.
really good understanding of this circuit.
Gonna go for one more lap. Let's see whether we can get under that 4-second barrier.
Program complete and a job well done.
There we go.
Some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage.
So now we're gonna go back to the garage. Car felt good so far, must be said, for first few laps. Gonna put the differential up onto 90. See whether that helps also. But car felt good there, which is nice. Obviously that wasn't on the softest tyre, that's on the hards.
Okay, you need to come in
This year in F1 you've only got the soft, medium and hards, so you no longer got that hyper soft, you know, and the rest of it. So it's all changed up this year in terms of car performance.
Come in this lap, please.
By the way, that's what my helmet looks like. I've gone for like a...
disabled. You'll need to be mindful of your speed when entering the pit lane. If you hit the limiter line too fast, you'll pick up a penalty. Watch the on-screen prompts that show your target speed and distance to the limiter line.
So I've still gone for a nice green, burgundy and blue. But yeah. So next we're gonna do the race run. So yeah. Also gonna try and tweak the setup a little bit, you know, just to help us out. We'll see, like, we're just gonna play around with the wings at the moment, not gonna play around with anything much, gonna just, you know, see what we can do in terms of that aspects. Hopefully it may just give us that tiny bit more confidence to brake later, you know, turn in earlier, or, you know, later even, you know, which hopefully just gives us that bit more confidence, you know, where we need it, you know, as well. So gonna do that now quickly. So we're gonna run 5.75 at the moment. I think that's the best way to go.
I know it's tempting to focus entirely on the race, but we should put a bit of time aside to run the qualifying sim
not gonna
program.
be
Try to run it before the end
much.
of FP3 if you can.
So we're now gonna do the race strategy in about probably, well, about now actually, because we've only got 20 minutes remaining. So this will be the race strategy now. One other thing I've noticed since playing already, that the energy recovery system does seem to take a bit more of a knock this year. So yeah. Right now though, we're ahead of Daniel Ricciardo in terms of lap time, and Ricciardo's on the harder tyre at the moment. So is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. At the moment I'd have to say it's good, but you know, took us 3 laps to do our fastest time. I don't know how long Ricciardo's been on them tyres for. Obviously, nonetheless. Don't want to get too carried away with practice times at the moment, but yeah. Just gonna drop back a little bit here. May have a bit of traffic.
Give us some consistent laps, please. We're looking for good data that we can work into the race strategy.
Bit wide there. Luckily not binning it. I feel like Codemasters have incorporated that theme of tyre temperatures this year, been so important to be in the right place more than last year. 100%. That's the first time we binned it now in the Toro Rosso. Also, you can run out much wider through that corner. Obviously, don't want to still get too greedy. I don't think we're gonna do a great lap on that first lap, so now we're getting into more nitty-gritty stuff. Also, I think following a car is a lot worse right now in this game. It's a lot more... It's like you lose a lot more downforce. If you see what I mean. Like... Yeah.
Lap. You've nailed what we asked for. Keep it up.
Right now, I don't think we've got a clear run on these medium tyres. About to say softs there. Taking a bit of damage, just going to use a flashback there. But I do feel comfortable with this car right now. Feels like a nice car. At the moment. Oh, balls. That was a costly error. And again, another costly error. We're now I'm making mistakes left, right, centre, which is annoying.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
That's another mistake to add on to the list. And that's another. At this rate, we'll have more mistakes than Gandhi. Right now it's saying like we're green on the Delta, but in all honesty, I don't feel I've had one good lap yet where I could say I feel confident in the race pace. Like, I don't know how they class this as green at the moment. Maybe we are doing a decent job. Like, in terms of the speed around the corners. Maybe it's just me making one too many mistakes. But, yeah. In terms of the Delta, hope if that's realistic, well, we got a bit of pace in our car.
You've nailed what we asked for. Keep it up.
So, obviously, we're gonna go back to the pits. Balls. But yeah, we're gonna go back to the pits now. More or less. And yeah, we'll see what's going down. Obviously, right now it's only practice, so you can't really pick up a penalty. Well, you can, but mainly to do with impeding. By the way these videos will work, in terms of cutting up, I'm gonna try and get out as many videos possible, you know, in my free time, you know. So today we're just doing one special video. Not all the videos will be this long, only today's video is basically this long. So if we do a video tomorrow, it'll be one race per day, more or less, for season 1. There may be some 2 like races sort of thing, but right now 1 race a day, like sort of thing. I'm looking to get out 3 races a week, so yeah. In terms of lap times though, let's have a look where we are. So right now, obviously, we're not actually that far off our teammate, who's about, obviously, well, is on a softer tyre compound. Looks like he has a bit more pace in that first sector. Middle sector were pretty good, and the last sector were pretty good. So looks like if we're lacking anywhere, it is that first sector at the moment. but otherwise we're pretty good. In terms of those around us on similar tyres and done similar lap times, well, our times look very similar to certainly the Renault. Williams look very quick at the moment. Yeah, you know, obviously time will tell though as the weekend does progress. Obviously not gonna, you know, make any predictions right now though. Looking good. So we're gonna do one more thing. Gonna try a bit of a different car setup. Gonna go for a bit less wing this time. So gonna go 4-4 wing. Okay, I know that sounds a bit odd around here, but you know, I know that worked in the last game very well. You know, I'm gonna lower tire pressure a little bit, and we'll see how that works.
Okay, we'll alter the setup of the car.
Pulls. Let me go back to the standard setup. Alright, there we go. 4-4, then transmission is 90, then brakes. Right, there we go. So we're gonna now do one last basically
checks complete
run. We're gonna now go do the time management program. This will be the last test we do. So we're either gonna run 5-7 or 4-4, depending which one I feel more comfortable with. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, say which one I feel more comfortable with until after the test. Here. But yeah. So about to find out though which one we feel more comfortable. Obviously going probably 4-4 does sacrifice that cornering speed, I would have thought, but then straight line speed, I imagine we will gain something there. Alright, here we go then, let's see what we can do.
This test is all about tyre management, trying to control the slip through each corner and take extra care putting the power down at the apex. There are 5 minutes of the session remaining.
So
well that lap, and tyre wear is more or less as expected.
Don't think we're going to get any better tyre wear, unless we were a bit more gentle. But, yeah, I'm happy with that. So, 4 minutes to go. That will be then the end of our session. We're going to retire the car. So, 4-4 didn't feel bad. Didn't feel like we were losing out time. Maybe a little bit in the corners. I might just run 5-7 for safety.
So let's review our top three. Leclerc, Hamilton, and
So
Valtteri Bottas.
we finished 18th there.
Practice session. The fun doesn't stop.
Obviously in our first practice. Obviously no points are awarded for practice, luckily. Otherwise we'd have been stuffed rightly.
Let's have your take on it.
So
it's been a lot of hard work. But here you are, making your debut in Formula 1. You must be thrilled.
So, obviously...
So how are you finding things at the team? Are you settling in? What are you expecting out of this season? Are you just aiming to find your feet in Formula 1, or do you see something more?
So,
great.
There we go. That's our first media interview over in the F1 paddock, of course. Now, so yeah, weren't a bad practice session, can't be said. Obviously, teammate was on a softer tyre. Have to compensate that. Let's say that softer tyre is worth about 4 to 5 tenths. We're right there with our teammate at least. In the first round. In terms of where my teammate was. Well, you know, 13th. I don't think we can really judge too much in that. You know, because obviously, yeah. So that's obviously the first, you know, part of the weekend over. So gonna skip to the qualifying now. And yeah, we're gonna jump into qualifying 1 for the first, you know, video. I'm probably gonna have to do, I'm gonna say 2 runs in this qualifying. Go out obviously around the 5th, well, early on, of course, and we'll go out a bit later in the closing stages. Obviously, we'll sim time forward to speed things up, just to let you know. And second qualifying, it's gonna be a tight one to get into into Q3. Really, I don't really see it going well, in all honesty. Also, it looks like they've changed shape of trophies this year, which is nice. Has to be said. Right, let's get into qualifying then for the first time, and yeah, we're gonna see what goes down.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. So then, Ant, it's another Grand Prix weekend, another exciting qualifying session ahead of us. What are you going to be looking out for over the next few minutes?
The first question is going to be who can avoid making mistakes. There isn't much margin for error in qualifying, and you have to bear in mind that the track conditions may have changed since practice, particularly as we've had a few support races in the meantime. If the brake bias settings, for example, don't take this into account, it's extremely easy to lock up a front wheel and cause a flat spot. Just like that, your lap's ruined, and you've wasted a set of tyres to boot.
So, obviously, about to get into things. Obviously, whatever changes we now make to the car, okay, have to be final, more or less. I'm going to run 5-7 wings. I feel that's the better and safer way to go for now. Okay, not saying it'll be necessarily the way to go all the time, but
let's go.
Yeah. So, obviously, we're about to find out what we're made of here for the first time. Gonna turn down that just so we can save the battery on the outlap. gonna let Sergio pass, or one of the Force Indias. Reason letting Perez pass there, just so, cause he is in a faster car in all theory, so I would expect him to be quicker than us right now. Want to maintain also this gap to the also cars, so we're gonna probably turn up our ERS in a moment. Don't want to get too close to the car behind, because that would compromise possibly our lap. Think it's a Ferrari, so certainly don't want to be too close to the Ferrari of either Charles or Vettel here. Want to be in a nice gap, and that's this gap here. So first flying lap of the season, then what can we do? And heading down into turn one, feel like could probably been a little bit late on the brakes, but nonetheless, at least we're through turn one. Now, as we make the run down into turn two, certainly better on brakes through there, I feel. Clipping the grass just a tad. And clipping grass a lot there, and I feel like we've ruined this lap. We'll still continue with it. So first lap feels very much ruined. If it weren't ruined a few moments ago, it is ruined now. Yeah, well, that is then also blocking Gasly's way, so not good. And now crashing into Pierre Gasly, which is even worse. Jeez, we've made a right start and mess to this race. I don't even know whether we've picked up a penalty, not too sure. Tyre wear seems very high. Oh dear. Now we're blocking the pit entrance. Oh great. Has this ever happened in F1? Where a driver's had to oh, that was interesting. We didn't even, you know, finish our lap. We've got a damaged car. Luckily, we've made it back to the pits. Stuck in the pit lane there for quite a rather unusual long time. So our first lap is practically ruined. And we're now basically resting all our hopes on this second lap here, which we're going to do. I'm not going to go out to set another lap, because in case we do get into Q2, which is probably quite possible, I don't want to risk, you know, wasting a set of tyres, you know, for the sake of, you know, advancing. But right now, not looking great for us Toro Rossos. We are dead last. Apart from Kubica, we are the slowest on the grid right now. So if we do have any hopes of getting into Q2, we've got a long way back at the moment. Alexander Albon does improve, only just though, and we'll go out in probably now. But yeah, rather interesting that. So it's not looking too great here for either myself or Danny, for Alexander Albon. So on our debuts, we are not impressing, I guess the bosses, could be said, at Toro Rosso. Certainly not me. I've already damaged the car and gone through a new front wing. Obviously, we will be looking to do a much better job. And now we're already delaying on car. There's really nowhere to get out of the way through here. Oh, for crying out loud. I'm going to use a flashback because I do want to try and at least complete a lap. I was trying to give way to this guy, Zeba here, who certainly probably impressing the bosses more than I am right now. But yeah, there wasn't really anywhere to go. Teammate status.
They're in 18th. Their best lap time is a 1:26.9.
So 18th. Wow, we are in trouble, I think. So no matter what, I don't think we would be responsible for knocking out our teammate here. If our teammate doesn't go through, he's put himself in this predicament. But if we don't go through, we're responsible for that for sure. Right, down into turn 1. I'm not going to speak for this lap. Oh, for crying out loud, I really need to sort out my racecraft through here. Right now we're giving the Albert Park a lawn mow.
There's 2 minutes left in this session and we're in the drop zone. We need a quick lap. That's qualifying up.
Where are we? I know it was a 1:26. 18th, so I think we just stole 18th off our teammate. That's what we did there, if I'm correct. So if we did that, oh. Yeah, 2/10 quicker than our teammate, so not good, has to be said. I'm not proud of that. Overall, hopefully the race will be better. We do have free tyre choice, which I guess is a bonus, but it does mean we're out of Q2. So yeah, I did say we were going to struggle to even get into, well, to get into Q3. We're a long way away from Q3 at the moment, with well, by the looks of it, it was genuine pace from the car as well. I think maybe we could have probably gone a few tenths quicker. It certainly weren't the cleanest of laps, but yeah. Now, good thing is we can avoid effectively the softest tyre compound, which I think is a bonus here.
Obviously, I expected a better session, but these things happen from time.
I think we're gonna try and avoid that softest tyre compound if it's very warm. If it ain't very warm, we may choose to run it, but in the back part of the race. But yeah, let's see what David Croft has to say.
New cars, it's a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21-race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year with tweaks to the regulations, a fresh-looking spread of tyre compounds, and of course some changes to the roster of car manufacturers. It's goodbye to Sauber and hello once again to the classic name of Alfa Romeo in Formula One. It's also goodbye to Force India. They've been rebranded as Racing Point. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2019 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 5th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the performance of Red Bull, who have switched to the Honda power unit this year. What that will mean for both their performance and reliability remains to be seen.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, and Verstappen, Ricciardo, Perez, Magnussen, and Kimi Raikkonen, Stroll, Grosjean, Lucas Faber, and Norris, Butler, Russell, Oldtimer, and Alexander Albon. Hulkenberg and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's...
So we've been promoted to 17th in our first race, I guess, which is pretty good. Now, the strategist is recommending to go on to the softs, okay, then, you know, the only way I would consider doing it is via a different strategy. So right now it's saying go the other way, but I would consider doing that. I think that could be slightly quicker. I think we're gonna do that. But then, yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna run the softest compound in the last phase. I know strictly we wanted to, you know, avoid, but we will do that.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on a full start. We don't want to bog down.
So just getting tyres nicely warmed. Hopefully, you know, we won't be in this position all year long in terms of grid slot. Hope we will be in a better position, maybe later on. Russell did a good job. teeing up tyres quite nicely right now, getting them into that position. Now I'm going to drop back a little bit, keep waiting. So long we're in 10 car lengths, we're fine. Oh dear. That ain't great. Going for a bit of an excursion on the formation lap. I certainly do feel tyre temperatures are more important this year in the game than ever before. Which is nice in a way, but also horrible. It means you have to do a bit more of a juggling act. Alright. 5 red lights. And yeah, not a great start already in P20. Obviously, I'm gonna say that's due to the tyres being a harder compound. But hopefully we'll make up a few places. Racing alongside Albon. Don't want to hit our teammate. Feel like we were a bit forced off track there, for sure. Now having a bit of a battle with Kubica for P20. So Kubica's just done us. Whoa. Can we go around the outside? Yes we can, yes we will. Now we've got to defend because Kubica will come back. He will have a better speed. And now we can go chase. So this was the tyre we had decent race pace on, of course. Very aggressive defending there from us. Against Robert Kubica. Now, a good result, I'm going to say, will be P15 today.
Yellow flag.
However, maybe higher. We just don't know. That's us back up into 17th. So we're already in 17th so far. So it's been an okay start to this race actually. Been positive.
Okay, battery's looking good. You can use overtake to get past.
And as this race goes on, we'll be just learning the game a bit more in terms of how to play it. So every lap we do, we're just going to get faster and faster, hopefully.
1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Well, that's the plan anyway. Oh no, we're not too far away from the points overall. Obviously, just one other thing, we do have tyre advantage here, I feel. Because obviously, when tyres start to go off, which should be probably soon, our tyres, well, will come very good as Alexander Albon goes around the outside. Can he get the move done? We go very harsh in the braking to defend our position.
Increase ERS deployment. It's time to use some of this charge.
So right now, good racing here. Not been many moves overall completed. We've collected our teammate. Balls. I was talking about moves and then have that. Oh, it weren't our teammate. It must have been Kubica. The AI are a lot more aggressive for sure this year. I can already tell that, by the way. They're a lot more willing to go for the gap. And they're not so pushover. I feel like they're a bit faster as well already this year in this year's game, but yeah. Alright.
Gap to car in front is 1.5 seconds.
So we're lapping around the pace where the game expected us to do on Friday in that practice session. Pace very similar to that right now. 1:36.
Push, push. ERS to overtake.
And George Russell falling back now.
Okay, we've got plenty of energy. Switch to overtake and have a go.
So right now, in terms of how car performance is, it's okay.
You'll be on the softs.
I do think the slipstream's more dangerous this year in this game. When you have a car in the slipstream, it's more powerful, possibly. Hanging on for dear life through there.
Tyre condition seems A-OK to us on the board here. Let us know if you feel them going off too much.
And now Russell getting overtaken. However, we're also getting pushed. And a brilliant Baldo up ahead between Russell and Hulkenberg. Oh, very nice. In terms of strategy, hasn't kind of worked out how I would have hoped. I was hoping that their tyres would drop off. Sort of not going that way at the moment. But yeah. We're kind of in next lap. Right now, Williams are going pretty deep into this race. Now we get to run the softer tyre at the cooler stage of the race, meaning we will have better grip, I would have thought. My teammate decides to continue, so yeah, we'll be boxing before our teammate right now. And we're already a pit stop behind one of the Mercedes. So you've got a bit of what do you call it, cleaner behind. We'll try and maintain that. So far this race hasn't gone bad, and we're 8 laps in. It's been rather more successful than I thought. Like pace wise, it's been okay. In terms of our, well, we haven't been spinning much. I think we've only used one flashback during this race, which is fair enough, I think. So overall, we've been pretty strong and stable. Oh, for crying out loud. I thought we were under there. I knew we were close. That time was our mistake. No, there we go. Got a clear pit lane, which is good.
Go now.
So 3 seconds there, stationary, which is pretty slow.
Strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
We will come out in front of Kubica, who's on harder tyres. Yellow flag up ahead. It's Lance Stroll who is out. Now I'm not sure whether or not the other forcing racing point has got past. Not too sure, don't quote me on that, but yeah. What I can say is right now Stroll's out, so one of Racing Point's out. Only one to go.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake.
That's our first warning of the session, where we've got a corner cut pen and warning. So teammates in the pits.
Alexander is in the pits.
No safety car yet, despite the yellow flags. I hope safety car's on, because I just want to check that whether safety car's on. Regular. Is the safety car on? No, safety car's off. I'll turn that on for the next race. That's why there's been no safety car in this race, which is a shame. But on these soft tyres, we have had decent pace so far. We're gonna go for a manoeuvre on George Russell here, round the outside, down into turn one. Brilliant manoeuvre. As we now have so much more pace. Oh dear, stop. Why wasn't the car stopping? Jeez. I'm gonna use one flashback for that. Car just wasn't slowing down, which is a shame. By the way, in terms of our engine, we're trashing it. Right now, we'll be going through a new engine in China. That's how quick we'll be taking a new engine. So, reliability is something we may want to work on in this career mode. Probably be taking grid penalties by the time we get to Austria, possibly, at this rate. Which ain't good. Right, Hulkenberg next.
Charge is high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace.
So, overtaking Butler there. And Butler obviously was the F2 champion from last season.
Okay,
so we doing a better race than Butler, who's obviously racing for McLaren right now. Obviously we do have a softer tyre at the moment on the car. But right now we're actually doing okay. We're in 15th, which isn't bad. Car feels good on this set of tyres. In fact, during the race, the car has felt very, very good so far in this race trim. Can't deny it's been very good. We've been lapping very consistently, which is nice.
9 seconds.
And yeah, feel very confident at the moment.
Are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
Car number 72 has I didn't even brake that late. That's how late I would brake, probably maybe an F1 2018. I don't know whether braking zones are longer this year. Where you need, I know they did change of brakes, probably that's why. We went way deep. Let's see what this mode's like. Oh, we went way deep there on the brakes, too deep. Right, looks like Kevin Magnussen's dropping back.
Okay, we've got plenty of energy. Switch to overtake and have a go.
I guess this is nothing new for Magnussen, who's been overtaken by everyone this season.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
We've been just overtaken by Magnussen. Right now, Kevin is delaying us a lot. Breaking the slipstream here.
Okay, gap ahead is 4.5 seconds.
Let's see what we can do. Final few laps then of this Australian Grand Prix. Let's see if we can get, I don't know, Perez or get close.
Increase ERS deployment. It's time to use some of this charge.
If we can get to, let's say, 3 seconds of Perez, I'll be happy with that, you know. If not when we get to 3 seconds. In terms of other components, looks like everything apart from the engine is doing okay. I'm just going to use hot lap mode now for the remainder of the session.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
So, to sums up today's race, for the first race in our career mode, I'm going to say it was 50-50. Qualifying was, well, a load of rubbish. But the race hasn't been too bad actually. The pace-wise, first stint it wasn't bad, a bit slow. Second stint, obviously, I feel like we've been a lot more better. Only in this very late phase, as the tyres are now beginning to go off, we're probably a bit slow now, or slower. But yeah, we've beaten our teammate, which is, I guess, good. That's one result. That's if we can get to the finish line, of course. We have made quite a few mistakes today. I'm not going to cover that one up. Which is obviously something I want to work on throughout the season, throughout this game and career mode. Hopefully we can fix that soon in terms of the sliding and maybe just that general feeling of the car, but I think that'll come with time, you know, of playing the game. You know, first race really back on F1 game in quite a long time. I've got to give myself somewhat credit. P13, first race for the Toro Rosso team.
Excellent drive.
May not be the podium or a win, however, it does feel a bit of a decent result. I'm glad not to be, you know, down in P15, which is good, or P16. Still not a result we were looking for.
Well, time management
You know,
quite a large role in
nowhere
this
near the
one.
result we're
As ever,
looking
it's
for
not just about
at
speed,
the
it's all
moment.
about
We're looking for
maintaining that speed consistently
much,
over
much
a stint,
better in
over
terms
a
of
distance.
race
So being able to
result.
keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
But I'm very happy in terms of the fact that, of course,
their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the
that
world
we're
over
obviously
to see them come
a
out on
lot
top once
better than what we were maybe earlier this morning, of course. But there's only things can go upwards from here, the way I see it. Qualifying was terrible. Practice wasn't bad, you know, for our first race of the season. No points, obviously. Still, obviously, 19 races. 20 races to go.
Let's review the driver's standings. Sebastian Vettel now leads the drivers' championship.
Yeah, Vettel wins today's race, a 1-2 for Ferrari, third and fourth for the Mercedes. Charles Leclerc takes the fastest lap.
In this instance, I was more impressed by Nico Hülkenberg's clean driving.
So yeah,
it's time to
you
check
know,
out the constructors' standings.
not bad.
Ferrari take the lead
yeah,
at the
we've
top
got
of
to
the
be
table.
proud
Well,
of ourselves
that
there
was
a little
certainly an
bit.
incredible weekend of
Obviously,
racing. Be sure to
you
join
know, it
myself
weren't
and
bad
Ant for
indeed
more
as a
exciting
race
Formula One
goes.
action soon.
Yeah. Must be said though, quite a lot of changes in position. I think everyone in this race changed position. I can't really see who finished in the same position. Even Verstappen didn't. Oh, Ricciardo did. So I think Ricciardo's one of the non-movers, but everyone else. Oh yeah, and Devon Butler. So Devon Butler and Ricciardo, the only two drivers not to either gain or lose a position in this race, which is pretty cool to see how many people have been swapping and changing positions. Even the leaders, you know, from Vettel all the way up, you know. In terms of our times, okay, we were faster than our teammate by 2/10 actually in that race. So we did actually have a generally quicker pace than our teammate there, which is nice to see. Roughly we were actually on par with, I'm going to say, Renault, well, Hülkenberg to be precise. You know, but it's actually crazy to think we're on par with some of the top tens like drivers, yet we can't finish you know, inside the points. Like, we were as quick as basically Ricciardo there, yet Ricciardo finished inside points. I guess we're not too far off the points. We were only 5 seconds, which isn't that far, I guess, in that light. If you take me out of the equation, we're around, you know, 13 seconds. Still not too far. away from points if you put in that respect. I think that will change race to race, which is, I think, good to see. You know, but yeah, long way to go. I don't think we're going to be challenging for the championship. In terms of points, obviously same as race result, except Charles Leclerc, who gets 19 points instead of the 18 because of the fastest lap, which in this season is worth 1 point, of course. So you do have technically 21 points worth, you know, of points up for grabs out of fastest lap alone. Right now I don't think we'll be getting the fastest lap anytime soon, unless we have a rocket in our car. But even then, look, we're about, if you think of it, okay, I know, okay, we couldn't have done a 1:26.7. We're too far behind at the moment to do that, you know. Even a 1:28 is very much pushing the car. Like, yeah, I think that'd be the fastest we could have done here. But as I say, pushing the car, like, been very comfortable with it. But yeah, nonetheless, we'll advance now to the next scene, and just gonna, you know, see what we now got to do.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
We've got a media interview, which is nice.
That was a good race for Lucas. Are you pleased to see him doing well?
Ooh, good race for Lucas. Yeah, it was actually, but am I pleased? Don't really want to comment on that, because why would I be pleased? He is a rival, the way I see it. I'm gonna say the car was sticking to the track, really.
You're
I think that's the only thing I can say.
What's your secret?
Breaking all expectations. It's only been one race. Jeez. I'll just put, you know, that. Get a bit of sportsmanship there.
You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
I'm gonna say that. See what happens. So rep does get decreased. Again, I think they need to sort out the interviews, which is a shame, because they could have worked on this a little bit better, the interviews, I think, you know, which is a shame. As I say, interviews would have been nicer to have that more, maybe better interviewing, you know, sequence, because they feel, again, very cheaply, if you know what I mean, put together still. And sometimes when you answer a question, you know, it doesn't reflect what maybe would happen in real life Formula 1, which is a shame. Of course, it all comes down still to the licensing, as I would have expected you guys to know.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract review.
So obviously,
looks like one of your rivals.
Good result that was.
This could be a good opportunity to play up your rivalry for the press and expand your reputation.
For our
You're
first
not the only
race,
driver to be hounded by the press.
13th,
Emails like the one I've just sent you will give you an insight on how your former Formula 2 rivals are handling the press. Be sure to check your emails regularly.
I don't know why that's in bronze there. Like, ain't bronze meant to be for third place? I'm not too sure. Like, why that is done in bronze. They could have done it maybe, I don't know, in a... maybe a purple or a green colour, you know, just to highlight the result rather than do it in bronze. I think that is a bit stupid, personally. Don't want to take anything away from the game. Nice game though, overall. So yeah, can't be too disappointed. Right, gonna probably do 1 or 2 upgrades in this race. Not in this race, but for the next one. I feel like we're gonna need power mainly. Gonna probably work on also could do that, or should we go for the aero as well? Try and get a bit of aero on the car. Go for the aero. Get some stuff. Oh, we can only do 1 upgrade per department, can't we? At the moment, which is a shame. Right, so we'll do that. So we'll just try and improve everywhere a little bit. We'll keep them resource points for next time. In terms of the wear on the actual engine, 28% after one race, which is pretty insane. Yeah. Everything else seems to be rather unaffected. Just the engine seems to be ridiculous. Well, yeah, that is pretty ridiculous, because I can certainly make that last 7 races. 10% would only take us to 70%. This would only, you know, be probably on 60% after 7 races, sort of thing. But, yeah, you know, that's not good. 70%, sorry, 28% after the first round of races. Not happy with that. So that's somewhere I want to improve the car. Anyway, we'll jump to the next weekend. We won't do the race. Subscribe, like, and share, by the way, if you're new to the channel. Go watch the whole thing. See the F2 career mode as well, which is only inclusive for this 2019 game. And first time ever we have had F2 cars in Formula 1 game. So yeah, you know, obviously pretty cool that. And until the next one, which will be the Bahrain Grand Prix for round number 2, take it easy, have a good evening and a good day, and until then, I'll see you all guys next time. Subscribe, like, and share. See you all next time.